Thrones and The Walking Dead are both incredibly beloved franchises. Although, as amazing as these shows are, you wouldn't exactly want to place yourself on the shoes of characters on the show. A lot of things happen on both shows. While they're amazing for television, are incredibly terrifying, and if they were to happen to you in real life. But let's just say that you were given these two options, and these two options only. Would you rather be in a real-life version of The Walking Dead? Or would you rather hang out in Westeros with the characters of Game of Thrones? The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead is an American post-apocalyptic horror television series for AMC, based on the comic book series by Robert Kirkman, Tony Moore, and Charlie Adlard. The series features a large ensemble cast of zombie apocalypse survivors who are trying to stay alive under near constant threat of attacks from zombies, who are better known in the world as walkers. However, with the fall of humanity, these survivors also face conflict from other living survivors who have formed groups and communities with their own sets of laws and morals, often leading to hostile conflict between the human communities. This is basically the plot of The Walking Dead. Live in a post-apocalyptic world filled with zombies, known as walkers, while you sometimes encounter human conflicts. From the get-go, it doesn't sound so appealing, does it? Not only do you have to constantly worry about zombies busting the door to eat your face, but you also have to be extra wary of strangers, who may or may not have plans to murder you. On the other hand, it's a post-apocalyptic version of today's world, where everything you may want can come free, if you know how to scrounge for them. Gone are the days when you need to save up tons of cash just to purchase the most appealing gadget on the market. You just have to loot the nearest abandoned store and get every single thing you need. But then again, you're essentially stuck with the latest gadget that came out before the viral pandemic spread. Depending on who you are and what your preferences are, this can either be a good or bad thing. If you're annoyed by how there's always a new version of the phone you just bought, then you're good. If you, however, look forward to these things, then this is an interest you'll have to let go of. Capitalism is essentially dead. Anarchy is alive. Everything is free. Do you want to own a penthouse? Sure. Go to an abandoned apartment building and claim your penthouse as your own. Do you want a fancy sports car? Break in on a luxury car showroom, or steal one from a rich neighborhood. Do you want to own a resort? You can own an entire island. The world is literally your oyster. You'll just have to swerve off a zombie or two, or 20, along the way. Debts, loans, and bills will all become a thing of the past, although certain luxuries will have to become a little more scarce as well. If you live in a place that provides clean running water, you may have to say goodbye to that privilege soon. Electricity may also become minimal. Socializing wouldn't be as fun anymore, given the psychopaths and zombies running around. Travel also sounds like it's near impossible to do, unless you know how to pilot a plane yourself, or know how to commander a ship. You're essentially stuck in the place you're at. Better learn how to drive your own plane or ship. It will make your life in the world of The Walking Dead so much better, and more fun. Venting out would become really fun though, if you have the skills for it. Facing zombies may be scary, but maybe it can be fun, and even therapeutic, once you become good at it. It will make you feel good in a badass sort of way. It was always awesome seeing the characters on the show get rid of zombies in the most creative and awesome way. That's something you could do as well. Just make sure they don't eat you first. All in all, the world of The Walking Dead may seem like it's a fun place to live in if you can bear with zombies, murdering psychopaths, cult-like communities, depression, the occasional hunger, dirt, blood, death. So maybe not so fun after all. But hey, no more bills. Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is an American fantasy drama television series created by David Benioff and D.B. Weiss for HBO. It is an adaptation of A Song of Ice and Fire, George R.R. Martin's series of fantasy novels. The show is set on the fictional medieval world of Westeros and the Seven Kingdoms, where people not only have to deal with political dynasties, but magic and dragons also exist. Sounds fun. First of all, living in the medieval era sounds fun as hell. The world is greener, there's less pollution, the air in the ocean is cleaner. Basically, if you're a nature lover, you will love living in Westeros. You can learn to ride horses, shoot arrows from bows, learn sword fighting, practically live in a real-life medieval fair. You also get to own dire wolves. Those things are cute, aren't they? They're like giant fluffy husky dogs you can ride, and maybe also kill for you if you're nice to them. And plus, dragons. Although if you've gotten used to technology, let's face it, a world without cell phones, computers, movies, and video games, that world doesn't sound so appealing anymore. But then again, dragons. To be quite honest, compared to the world of The Walking Dead, living in the Seven Kingdoms doesn't sound quite so bad. I mean, so long as you're not a soldier sent to fight on every battlefield, or sent beyond the wall where the creepier and more ominous creatures reside, you should be good. And while the world Game of Thrones doesn't exactly have zombies, they do have ice walkers, which are like ice versions of zombies. While they are rare, and don't really mess around in Westeros, you're essentially screwed if you meet one, unless you have dragon glass with you. And also, don't piss off a Dothraki if you ever meet one. An even better piece of advice, don't piss off a Targaryen, even if you meet one. You don't want to get on the bad side of someone who can control dragons. Murder, thieving, and many other horrible crimes also seem to be terrifyingly rampant in the world of Game of Thrones. If you want to let loose for a while and you happen to get caught, you may be glad to know that you don't have to rot in your cell forever. You can demand a trial by combat. I mean, that's much more fun than just waiting for a verdict that may or may not be fair, right? Speaking of the verdict, if you're a politician or have an affinity for politics, Westeros may become your playground. The world of Game of Thrones is all about politics and conflict, and if you know how to work your way around that, or better yet, if you actually enjoy working your way around that, the world of Game of Thrones will be like Candyland to you. Just be careful though, as Cersei once said, when you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die. There are a lot of beautiful areas in Westeros that you can reside in. Dorne seems like a lovely, vibrant, and colorful place. You could also choose to live on the Iron Islands, if you're all for the ocean. You might want to avoid King's Landing though, unless you're royalty. That place is not kind towards low and middle class people. You have a better chance of survival in the world of Game of Thrones, so long as you don't personally look for trouble. If you just want to bask in the glory of nature, see the majestic, harmless creatures, and live in a quiet setting, you'll have an amazing time in the Seven Kingdoms. It does lack mobility and technology, which the world of The Walking Dead does offer. While they are scarce, you can still scrounge up the technological luxuries we're already used to today. What's amazing is, they're free if you know how to look for them. So, which of these two fictional worlds would you rather live in? Would you face zombies and other psychopathic murderers for the sake of anarchy and the free market? Or would you walk the land of Westeros where magic is real, dragons are real, you can ride dire wolves, but you may also be killed by scavengers, murderers, thieves, rapists, and you may face ice walkers, which are like powered versions of zombies. Which of these two worlds is more, for the lack of a better term, appealing to you? Let us know down in the comments below.